All right, well, hello folks. How's it going? It's been a while since I had the opportunity to sit here and like do some plant vlogging, which I actually enjoy. And today is a snowy day. It's a Sunday in December in northern Jersey. It's cold. I went out this morning and I shoveled snow. I hate shoveling snow. I hate it. And, I'm getting older. I mean, it's hard picking up that heavy snow and bending over. And I live on a corner lot, so I have to shovel the sidewalk. I have to shovel my driveway, and it's a bit much. But nonetheless, it is what it is. But it's been a while since I've actually put out a video, and I figured today would be a really good day because it's cold, it's snowy, it just finished snowing, and it's cozy. It looks like a winter wonderland outside. I figured today would be a good day to showcase some of my plants and kind of give you a plant tour in just one of the rooms. I think I'm just gonna leave it to the plant room / office here just for now because I have so many plants here. I don't know exactly how many plants I have in this room, but there's quite a bit. So I'm gonna kind of take my time a little bit, and hopefully this video won't be just so, long, but and then in another video, I'll take you over to other parts of the house and show you those plants, which are really doing well. So, but again, thanks for joining Plant Essence. And here we go. Okay, guys, so this is one section of my office / plant room. And early this year, I had some different plants here, but I decided to move some of the plants around from other rooms to here because right above here, we have the Soltech grow light, which is an awesome grow light. It's so intense. Any plant that I put here, it just grows like crazy. And any plant that's like more succulent can really handle the lighting here because it's so intense. But I'll start over here with one of my trailing plants. It's pretty basic. It's a combination of a couple plants. And forgive me, guys, if I get some of the plant names incorrect. Please let me know. Sometimes I'll refer to just the Latin name of the plant or the botanical name or scientific name of the plant. And sometimes I'll refer to it as the common name of the plant because it's, sometimes those Latin names and those botanical names are tongue twisters. So, but I apologize if I get the plant wrong. Just please let me know in the comment section if I do get it wrong. I am always open to learning what the correct pronunciation of the plant is. So this here I have, like I said, these are pothos. So this is the Enjoy. It's an Enjoy pothos, and it's variegated, the white and the green. It's very, very pretty. I was a little concerned by putting this one here because I like to give all of my newer plants, and anytime I bring them into my collection, the best chance possible when it comes to, lighting. But obviously all the plants are kind of like fighting for the best space. So I just got to do what I have to do. So I have to figure out by trial and error which plants can do well here because it's not a lot of highlight here, but it is getting some light, but just not a lot of highlight. So this is the Enjoy pothos, and I've combined it with what I thought was a global green, but I believe this is an emerald green pothos. The global green is a little bit wider leaf, and it's not as crinkly as this one. But I'm pretty sure this is the emerald green. Please, again, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But I thought this looked really, really nice here. And it trails just so beautifully. It's really good. I don't have many issues with it. I did have a little bit of a pest. There was some mealybugs there, but I think I've treated it well. Like gave it a shower and I put some systemics in it, and it's doing quite well. So, and I have it paired with this cute little, just basic terracotta pot and sitting on this plant stand, but I really like this plant here. And right next to that over here is the Monstera Peru, which I gotta be honest with you guys, I got this from a big box shop maybe about a year ago, and it's been doing so well. I recently potted it into this clay pot, which does have a hole at the bottom. Before this, it was in a self-watering pot, which I find that this particular Monstera is a very thirsty plant, and it really enjoyed being in a self-watering pot. But it's a little risky for me now. I did, like I said, I repotted it and I put these poles just to give it some support, because it does like to kind of climb, and it's climbing for the light. But it's been doing really well. It's been doing really well. But recently, like I said, when I repotted it, some of the lower leaves did turn yellow, so I cut those off. Oh, there's still some kind of coming off. I did cut those off. And but she's doing okay. I just have to make sure I stay on top of the watering here, because it is such a thirsty plant, and any type of clay pot or terracotta pot does draw up the moisture. It is porous, so it will dry out the soil pretty quickly. So I find that I'm watering this like maybe twice a week, and even in the winter months when it doesn't need that much water. But this room stays pretty dry. There's no AC in here, and I keep the windows pretty closed, but I do have a humidifier going, but this one is a thirsty one. But I love it. I love the way that the leaves are. They're very big, very they have like ridges and very textured. And I just love this plant, and it grows like a weed. So, but again, the Monstera Peru. Now this one is an Alocasia Pink Dragon. I don't know why they call it this, because it's really not very pink. I got this from an Etsy shop maybe about 6 months ago, and it's done okay. It's giving me about 2 new leaves, but it's a slow grower. And I recently potted into this, oh, there's a fungus gnat, into this self-watering pot. And she's happy. I can't complain, but I just don't know why they call it a pink dragon. There's nothing pink about it. It really isn't. Okay. So moving on here, I have here, this is something that I propagated about during the summer months. This is just your basic Nepenthes pitcher plant. I chopped my big pitcher plant up and put little small sections of the plant into sphagnum moss, and she's doing okay. She's fine. She gets great light. She's happy. And I just make sure I keep this one in a cloche to keep the humidity in there. They're humidity loving plants, carnivorous plants. So over here I have the walking Sansevieria or Sansevieria pinguicula, and look, it's producing a pup. And I gotta do my research, because these particular ones, they can fight for space, and it looks like this one's kind of growing into the mother plant. I don't want to detach it yet, because it's not mature enough. This is to be seen with this particular one, but I shouldn't say she, they are loving this light. I don't give it a lot of water, because obviously this is it thrives in, a dry kind of climate. But it's doing well. It's doing really well. I recently moved this plant from my south facing window in my bedroom to here. I also gave it water. As soon as I started to just like give it a little bit more water, and actually repotted it and, you know, give it some more space, it then produced this pup, this beautiful pup. So, yep, but this is again, the Sansevieria pinguicula, or walking Sansevieria, because it's literally like walking out of a pot. Now here is, I have quite a few Hoyas here, and Hoyas are really like succulent. This one is the Hoya Chuck. I got this from an Etsy shop, a grower. I believe this grower was out in Michigan. Very, very happy plant, very easygoing. Uh-oh, I got it. I got it stuck in here. Oh my God, I'm so sorry I did that. I closed you up in there. But yeah, this is the Hoya Chuck, and I have it on this little trellis here, and it's a beautiful plant. Like I said, easygoing. I've never had any pests on it. And she's happy. I still have it in the nursery pot, but I just put it in this, you know, decorative cash pot. And she sits here, right here, okay? And I did read somewhere that when they do decide to bloom, that the blooms are really pleasant. None of my Hoyas have bloomed, guys. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I know they're happy because they're producing a lot of leaves, but no peduncles, no blooms. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But anyway, that's another conversation for another time. So right next to the Hoya Chuck is the Hoya Freckles Splash, or Hoya Freckles. And I have it in this cute, like, Buddha head planter. And I still have it in a clear nursery pot, but she's really happy. This one is happy. Literally, I got this from Home Depot about a year ago. It was like 4 or 5 leaves, and it also had some pest or fungal problem because the back of the leaves had these big open, like, dark circles all over. So I did cut some of the damaged leaves off, but as soon as I did that, it just started to just vine all over the place and just like produce crazy amounts of leaves. So I think she's doing wonderful. Like I said, I absolutely adore this plant, and I can't wait to this one and also the other one produces some type of peduncles, because I did hear that they smell really pleasant. So, and let's see, let's go back here. Back here, this is a recent purchase. This is a ZZ plant, but the chameleon or the elbow, I forget which one it is, but I'll put it up on the screen when I find out what it is, but it's the lighter version of it. And right next to that, I have, this is your typical, like, well, not typical, but this is the Raven ZZ. It's like all black, but the newer leaves come in, they come in green, and then they turn to black. This one here, and I did a video on it before, but she's a leca, and I keep it in like a reservoir at the bottom. No rot, nothing, and she's pretty happy. Don't believe the hype if you think that some of your succulent-like plants cannot be in a hydroponic setup, because they definitely can. But this one here is in soil, and I just recently watered her. But she's beautiful. I love how the leaves stay very like very light in color, and then they do turn to a green after a while. So, but yeah, she's reaching for the light, as you can see. Yep. And right next to this, I have a very, very active Hoya Pubicalyx. I mean, she's growing like crazy. I do have her on like a little bit of a trellis, and then she decided to take her vines and entwine them all up and just kind of like braid itself around. I mean, this plant grows like a weed, and it's growing like a weed, and I'm like, where are the peduncles? So, but yeah, that's the Hoya pubicalyx. I did hear before I got this plant, and I got this from a big box shop, that they do grow quite crazy. So at some point I will have to cut it back because it's going to grow across all around the walls in a minute. And then right next to that, I have the Hoya macrophylla. And they're kind of like, almost like entangled here. So, which it's okay. You know, these are loving plants. They love each other. They just want to kind of get close to each other, so I'm going to allow them. But I love this plant, and as it gets a little sun stress, it does like turn pink around the margins. It's really, really pretty, which I love. But yeah, okay, so let's pan over here just a bit. Like I said, this is the Black Raven ZZ plant, and this is your here, right here is your basic snake plant. I forget the variety of that plant, of this particular snake plant, but it's pretty good. I got this one from a big box shop over a year ago, and she's produced a couple leaves. Oops, oh my God, you're stuck in there. Okay, there we go. Yay, produced this one here. Now here, let me come out a little bit. This is for the holidays, right? This is your amaryllis. I got this one from a big box shop. They were discounted, these particular ones. It hadn't bloomed yet. It was $8 for this this amaryllis, and look at it. And if you're doing things right, you can actually have this particular plant come back next year. I had one from last year. I was unsuccessful with getting it to bloom this year. So I decided to bite the bullet and just buy another one for $8. But the $8 price point kind of drew me in. I was like, I cannot leave you here. You're only $8. And then not only do I have one, but I have two. This is awesome. And then it's produced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 flowers. It's so pretty. And the flowers are not that deep red, but it's like an orange red. It's very like holiday-ish, like, you know, more Thanksgiving-ish, you know, maybe because of the wrapping here, but I really love it. I really love it. So going down from there, and shout out to my friend. She actually gifted me this beautiful plant stand which comes with lights that are on timers. And she got this from Amazon. I absolutely love it, but I put it in this section, which obviously doesn't get much light here. And the plants absolutely love it. This one here is the Scindapsus pictus. And I got this plant over a year ago. It was a very small plant, and since then it's just trails so beautifully. So beautifully. And I've actually propagated it and gifted it to some folks, and they're doing quite well, and I have them kind of attached to the closet door handles here. So, but she's doing well, and like I said, she's getting light from the grow lights on the shelf. Now here is I just got this one. This is from a big box shop, but this is it's a variety of Calathea, which I find to be challenging. I have another Calathea that did not like it out in my regular humidity, but this one's doing okay. I make sure that the soil stays relatively moist. Not wet, but just relatively moist. And I occasionally spritz it a little bit just to give it a little moisture on the leaves. I got to be careful because I don't want to cause like any fungal issues, but I missed it. So it's okay. But she seems to really like it, and obviously she's getting really good light here with the grow light. Spanning over here, I gotta show you this. This is one of my pride and joys here. So this is the Hoya Wet Eddie Eye Variegata. Now it's a little confusing because some say, okay, it's the Hoya Variegated Wet Eddie Eye or the Hoya Rosita. And I think it's just the Wet Eddie Eye, because the Wet Eddie Eye, I do have a green version of it, and they do have a variegated version of it. I believe that this one is the Wet Eddie Eye. But if you guys know any better, please leave a comment below to tell me if I'm wrong. If it's the Rosita, I think this one, they have the shorter leaves. That might be the Rosita. Because the Wet Eddie Eye, they have the longer ones. But there's some ones in here that are pretty long and like very like string beanish. So, but let me just pick it up for a second. I love this plant. And when I tell you, this plant was teeny tiny when I got it. It was actually 2 separate plants that I got from Home Depot. They were like $4 or $5 for the plant itself. And then I potted them directly into this terracotta pot together. And I think from them like being in a pot, in a snug pot with friends, it just exploded. The growth just exploded. But obviously I took it and I made sure that it was under a really good grow light. And it's just like, it's like hanging. It looks like little ponytails, right? And it's so pink and sun-stressed. I absolutely love this. And it's so easygoing. I've had a couple pest issues with it. You know, Hoyas can be prone to like mealybugs. But I gave it a good shower. And I put some systemic granules into the soil, and it's helped out quite a bit. So no more pests, but I absolutely love it. Put you back here. Okay, make sure you're not sitting on any of your leaves. And this here is the Aglaonema. I forget what variety it is. Oh, look who walked in. Hey Spivey, how are ya? Okay, you came to steal a shot? Okay. All right, sorry, I'm distracted. I just love my little dog. I love her. Okay. But this stop, Spivey, go away. Here, I forget which variety of Aglaonema that this is, but I got this at a big box shop over a year ago. And honestly, I was going to give up on this plant because it just was, I had it in the wrong spot. It just wasn't doing well. And I do keep it in the self-watering pot, which it does help. But it just wasn't getting enough light. It wasn't getting enough humidity. And it was getting a little leggy, which it's still a little bit leggy if you look at the base a little bit, but it's actually doing pretty good now. So I have some new growth here. It's getting decent amount of light. This particular plant is actually low light tolerant, so which is great. But I like it because it's very like, it gives tropical vibes in my opinion, with some, red coloring. I think it's actually, the leaves are actually very stunning, very different. Every leaf is different. And I really enjoy it. I do. So, okay, so just moving on over here on the other side. Now, folks, I have some plants that aren't doing so well. I'm not going to showcase those, but, well, I'll show you those because, listen, it happens. That's life. Sometimes you have plants that are doing well. Sometimes you have plants that are not doing so well. But actually, no. I'll show you over here in my cabinet before that. Let me show you here. Spivey, can you excuse me for a second, please? Can you? I'm gonna open up the cabinet for a moment. Can I? Come on. Okay, good girl. All right, so starting over here. Oh God, that's not doing too well. So this, actually, let me open it up. I have the temperature reading and also the humidity. It's a little thermometer here to let me know what's going on with the temperature and humidity in the cabinet. She looks so sad. Like, one plant genus that I have issues with are my begonias. There are some that are doing quite well, but begonias, in my opinion, are just beyond divas. And this is just a basic like begonia tiger paw that was doing okay, and it just took an L. It just fell off. I'm so over it. And this one in the back, I had a whole bunch of beautiful leaves just a month ago, and now she's just shriveling up to a little bit of nothing. And I'm doing nothing different. Yeah. Let me just take the plant from back here. Now this one here is the Anthurium regale, and anthuriums can be challenging, very challenging. And I believe this one's about to die because look, this new one's coming and then there's another one coming. So what I've read and heard is that with certain anthuriums, when a new one is producing, the old one tends to die off. I believe it's because it takes a lot of energy for the plant to produce the leaves. And for a long time, this leaf here was doing very, very pretty, but then doing very well. But then all of a sudden, this showed up, and I'm like, okay, you're about to head out of here. So, but I put some moss on top. Make sure it stays relatively moist, not wet, but and I make sure the humidity is pretty good in this cabinet. And she's been doing pretty well. But I know that, again, that this one is on its way out because she's produced this new one and is about to produce yet another one. I don't know if you can see it over there, but they're about to produce. So I may wind up with just, two new leaves in a couple months, or maybe a couple weeks or so. And then eventually they'll get this size or maybe even bigger. So, and the other plant that I took out here is it's just your basic Alocasia poly or African mass. This one's about to die off actually, but she's producing a new one here. Now I have a bigger one of this. What happened was I unpotted my larger Alocasia poly, and I found corms, baby corms, and I potted it into some perlite, and I've grown this from a baby. It's just something I was kind of experimenting with, and I was able to, start a plant from corms, and it's took on really well. It's really rooted in there. And I keep it in here and relatively moist, because alocasias do like to stay moist. So, but yeah, that one dies, but she lives on because she's producing another baby, which is great. Yep. And here down below, I have my carnivorous plants. This one here I grew from a baby. There's quite a few, a couple plants in there, and it just constantly produces basils with some pictures. I have a penguicula there, which I have in a dome. And back there I have more of the American picture plants there, which I keep them in sphagnum moss, and I may have to put some more water in there. But it's the winter, so a lot of the carnivorous plants do go into dormancy, so it's to be expected. But let me tell you, last summer, these plants just looked absolutely spectacular. So down here, I have a few plants here. This is the Anthurium crystallinum. It was sold to me as a crystallinum, but I don't know that it is because I had another crystallinum that didn't look anything like this. But this here, right here, is the newest leaf, and she is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then in there I have, it was this, during the summer months, this was actually a Pinguicula carnivorous bog. As you can see there are some Venus flytraps that are going into dormancy, and I just kind of keep them into so last year there were I had some Pinguiculas in there. I took them out, and now it's just the Venus flytraps in there, but they're basically in dormancy. Some of them did turn black. Some of the traps turned black, which is to be expected, but I'm gonna leave it in here and see how well it does. This is kind of like an open terrarium for it, but I do put these little these little plastic things over just to keep it in humidity. Back there I have this is a Stephania, Codex Stephania, or dirty potato. And this past summer it was doing so well, but right now I think it's going into dormancy mode, even though it has some really nice foliage. During the summer the foliage was a lot greener. They've kind of gone a little bit green, palish green, but I keep it in here. It likes humidity. I water it occasionally. I don't overwater it, but she's hanging in there. She's doing okay. Let me put this one back. And way back there in the dome, I used to have a begonia. Remember I told you my begonias are such like divas? This plant was so beautiful. It was a begonia something tuna. It just looks so cool. It looks very aquatic, and just overnight it just started to just out itself. And I have it in the dome, and it looks like it's growing some white fungus stuff on there. I don't know if this is salvageable. I might have to throw it away and just try again. So, but it was beautiful. I didn't keep it in the dome. I just kept it in here, and it just was doing so well. And now it's gone. So that's just what happens in the plant world. One day you're doing well, and one day it just takes a turn for the worse. And it's typically the more sensitive plants like begonias and maybe anthuriums, in my opinion. I just struggle with those particular types of plants. But yeah, and as you can see, this Codex plant, it vines all around. I gotta see if I can straighten it out a little bit. But she's happy. She's happy. Yeah, and they're happy in there. And this here is the Calathea ornata that did not like my regular home humidity, so I just placed it here. And it's doing really well. So my audio died, and so now I'm going to be doing this voiceover, but this is the first part of my collection. I will then now transition you and show you the rest of the collection in the plant room. Okay, so here we go, guys. So this is the other side of the office, and sorry about the unstableness of the as I'm recording, but Here you see a number of different plants right there. You see a Thai constellation, but I'm going to pan over here to this beautiful string of hearts. And before that, let's take a look at the Brazil, which used to be really pretty and long, and it just got really bald headed on the top. So I decided to give her quite a bit of a haircut, and yeah, she's bald. Yeah, but she was full. I wish that I had like the lights where you have the skylight, so that all of my plants could really get top down light. Yeah, but unfortunately I don't live in a greenhouse. But yes, that is my philodendron Brazil. I still love them. It's a staple in my house. And here I'm going to show you the string of hearts. I don't know the scientific or botanical name, but when I got this, it was a tiny, very small plant, and it has grown substantially. I mean, just look at the growth on this. And it's a really easy care plant. Just don't overwater it. The leaves are very succulent, so it stores the water in the leaves, right? And it's just grown super duper long. I've actually propagated it and gave it to a friend, and it's really easy to propagate. Now these tangles, I tried to untangle them, but they're just so cumbersome, and I feel like I'm gonna lose some of the leaves, so I just kind of leave them. But I absolutely love my string of pearls. I do want to do a little bit more dressing of it, because I think that it's kind of boring just sitting in this plastic hanging pot. But it seems to like the window, and that's a west-facing window. But I absolutely love my variegated string of hearts. And as you can see, the sun stressing really gives it like a nice pink hue to it. Yeah, so which I absolutely love. Now I do want to draw your attention over here to this staghorn fern, which I personally mounted. I'm very proud of that. Mounted that. And it's I've only had it for about a month or so, but it's doing pretty well. And it I wanted to grow where it kind of looks like antlers, and I wrapped it in sphagnum moss and make sure the sphagnum moss is relatively damp. One of the shield fronds, which I'm pointing to, have died, but there looks to be another shield frond growing in its place, which is great. And this is a west-facing window, so in the summer months it should look quite a bit better. Again, we're in the winter, so it's a challenge. But panning over here to this cloche, this very large cloche, this is the Begonia amphioxus, and it does really well in high humidity. That's why I have it in the cloche that it's in, and I keep the thermometer in there. I must say, guys, again, begonias are tough for me, and trying to keep them happy is just it's a challenge. Even when you're giving it everything, you're giving it light, you're giving it the humidity, it's still dropping leaves, but it's not dying, it's not hurt or anything like that. It's just dropping leaves, unfortunately. But yeah, that's my beautiful Begonia amphioxus. So. Now, taking a look at the plant here, this is in the bromeliad family, or Tillandsia, and what I've heard that actually they make air plants from these particular plants as well. So I was like, oh wow. When I first got this plant, it did have a beautiful pink flower blooming in the top of it, but it's since died. I cut it off, but it's really easy to take care of plant. I just make sure that I have to fill the tank with distilled water, which I'm demonstrating right here. You just kind of fill it at the top. I make sure it's distilled, not tap water, because those plants are sensitive to the minerals in the tap. And it is sitting in some type of soil, but I rarely ever soak the soil. It's just the top of the plant. So come springtime, this plant should look a lot different. It's still healthy. It's just some of the older leaves are just dying off, which is to be expected. No big deal. So just moving over here to one of my favorite plants. This is the Philodendron biliaceae. She's just beautiful. Look at those long, lobey leaves. I just love it. And some of the leaves are, you know, they look like they're a little chewed up, but I haven't had any pest issues with this. No spider mites, no mealybugs, nothing. It's a pretty easygoing plant. It's a slow grower, but I just recently put it here in the plant room, which is doing quite well. And I also stuck it onto a moss pole. So hopefully the aerial roots will latch into the moss and it will help it to climb and size up, because it is a climber. It's a climber and also a sprawler. If you know about those plants that kind of sprawl out and kind of take up room, this is one that really takes up room. So I try to like reinforce it with like different types of string to kind of hold it up so it doesn't take up all the real estate on that table. So, but yeah. And what you're looking at here is not pest issues. I think those are the, sometimes the plants, they secrete like a nectar, and it's kind of sticky substance, and it when it attaches to the leaves, it does kind of damage the leaves, but it's not pest damage. Just FYI with that. Okay, just moving over here to this Anthurium, and this is the Anthurium crystallinum, which actually is one of the Anthuriums that is doing better than the other Anthuriums that I have in my collection. Aside from what you see here, I think it's just outing itself, that leaf. But some of the other leaves look pretty decent, and the roots grow like crazy, and I had to like upsize it a couple times, but it keeps putting out these inflorescence, and there's a new leaf actually coming through, which is awesome. But she's a pretty plant. I don't keep this one in the cabinet. I keep it on this shelf here next to some good lighting, and as well as I give it, I have a humidifier running constantly so it gets some type of humidity. But it's a pretty easygoing plant, aside from the crisping and stuff. I don't know what's going on. It did not do that when I first got it. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just the season, whatever. Maybe it's just getting ready for new leaves. But moving on over here to my Alocasia cuprea. And this one, I had it was a larger plant and it was dying, and I saved some of the corms, and I was able to propagate them or raise them from babies and put them in here. But some of the other leaves are dying. Alocasias, they go into dormancy in the winter, so it's to be expected that this plant doesn't look too great. But yeah, Alocasia cuprea. It's so tiny. It's so tiny. When I got that plant, it was so much bigger. But hey, it's just the plant journey. It's a lesson in what thrives in your home humidity or your home environment, and what doesn't. So I'm just learning as I go through this journey. Now, next to that plant, we have, this is the Hoya fitchii, or teacup Hoya. And this one, I can say it's doing well, but it is a mealybug magnet. And I've had to pluck so many mealybugs off of this plant. It's just been crazy, but it's doing quite well. I believe I got this from a big box shop as well. It was like maybe $5. And it started out really slow, but it's just been popping out leaf after leaf after leaf. Even with the mealybugs, it's been popping out leaf after leaf. So I'm really proud of the progress this particular plant has made. And then right over here on top, we have, this is a booby cactus. Yay, boobies. It's doing really well. It loves it in this spot because it gets a lot of highlight from the grow light. But the boobies are perky. It's looking good. I don't water her much. And I make sure I put her into this cacti and succulent mix. And then right next to that, I have this Hoya Croniana Silver, and she's doing really well. Her leaves are a little bit thinner than like your normal Hoyas. Like Hoyas are very succulent, but I find that I have to water her a little bit more than the other Hoyas, but not too much. You don't want to overwater them, but she's doing really well. She's getting plenty of light here. And then moving on over here to the Hoya Bella. It's a variegated kind. I did receive this one. I got this from 2025 PlantCon in the city. And when I brought it home, she just was not happy with the conditions in my house. She kept dropping leaves. I think I had another vine I had to cut off. It wasn't rotting, it just was not happy. So, but she's doing a lot better. I just have to, you know, stay on top of the watering because she is in a porous type of container, which does take up a lot of moisture. But these are Hoyas. They can, you know, they do store the water in their leaves, but you want to, like for the thinner leaf Hoyas, you just want to be cognizant of their watering. So, and then right next to that, I have your standard Thai constellation, which isn't looking too happy. I first got this one. I did try to put it in semi-hydro. It was doing really well. Roots were growing crazy. I put it in leca, and for some reason it just started to go downhill. So I just recently potted up into soil, and she pushed out a new leaf for me, and she's doing quite well. Thai constellations are prone to root rot, so I do have to stay aware of you know, problems with you know causing root rot or anything like that. So, but yeah. Okay guys, I do apologize. I'm transitioning it here for a minute because the remaining of the footage was not clear. It was kind of dark, and obviously I didn't have any sound. So I was like, let me give him something to look at in the meantime. The other thing, this video is really long, so I just want to shorten it. But what you're looking at is a Peperomia Hope, and what fell into the pot is unbelievable. It's an Alocasia corum, and it started to grow. And these particular plants are on two opposite ends of the spectrum. I mean, one is water loving, one just stores the water, or is almost drop tolerant, which is the Peperomia. And it's growing, and it's growing another little baby Alocasia poly, which is crazy to me. I'm like, how did this happen? But nature is just unpredictable. It can be unpredictable even in your home, which I find so refreshing. But I wanted to show you guys this and just give you kind of a glimpse into my plant room. Like I said before, I am going to shoot another video very soon of the other areas in my house, but I just wanted to give you a glimpse of this. But she is just stunning, and I can't wait to. All right guys, so there you have it, my plant tour of my plant room / office. But like I said before, I will post additional videos of other parts of my house because I have plants all over the house, and I want to share that with you. And one last thing, kind of like a food for thought. I forget where I heard it from, but someone was asking, how many things are you good at? How many things are you great at? How many things are you amazing at? And I must say, personally, I'm sure you guys can relate, I'm good at a lot of things. I'm great at a few things. And I'm amazing at one thing, one important thing. I'm amazing at being myself, because there's nobody else on the planet that's like me. And I hope that that message resonates with you, to just show up as your authentic self, even when the world is crumbling around you, even when things are going bad. Just show up and be yourself, because there's no one else like you. And I just want to leave you with that. So maybe in some coming videos, I'll make sure that I give some kind of food for thought to kind of help you think about things, because not only is this just a plant channel, It's also a channel that helps me with my mental health and emotions and things like that. So I just want to share that with you guys, and in any way that I can. So, but until next time, thanks again. Be safe. Happy holidays to everyone, and be safe. All right.